Here's how to motivate yourself to finish a book. I've reviewed 350 books on this channel, so I know like anyone else, it can be hard to finish a book sometimes. I don't know about you, but there are some books that I'll go weeks not finishing or even really listening to it all, and you're asking me like, what's taking so long? I don't really think I'd have an answer. Nonetheless, I've learned some things along my journey that have helped me. So here are 6 ways to make sure you're staying motivated and on track to finish your current read. Even if you try just one of these, the likelihood that it gets you through that rut of, I just don't feel like doing this, it can make watching the whole video worth it. Number 1, remind yourself why you're reading a book. Not why you're reading a book. Everyone knows the benefits of reading. I'm talking about the book you're reading now. Everyone procrastinates on something. When you're not procrastinating and you're doing that thing, why were you doing it? If that reason changed completely, it already sounds like there's no need to finish the book and the work's already done and you don't even have to worry about it anymore. If the reason you're changing the book has not really changed at all, or if it's gotten worse, or you have a deadline and that deadline is approaching, but you still feel like it's not enough motivation, try considering why the deadline matters and why that matters. Toyota said once that if something goes wrong, ask why 5 times. Number 2, make a routine out of reading a certain amount. The main purpose of this is literally one word, and that's progress. Nothing can take progress away from us, at least when it comes to reading a book. If the book gets destroyed or something, you can always get another copy, and if you can't afford another copy, you can always earn enough back to afford another copy. When there's a book, there's a way, right? I feel like I'm not painting myself with these descriptions as someone who really reads that much. I'm trying here. Anyway, in all seriousness, there's nothing you can't gain from just reading 1 page per night. It's not a big commitment. 1 page per night only takes about a minute for most people, and you're good. Do it until you feel like doing more. Heck, you can read more whenever, but set a minimum, get a little bit of a reading schedule going, and you're golden. If you miss one night, no problem. Happens to everyone, but get back to it immediately the following night. Don't let one skip get you down. Get back on the saddle and go. Number 3, try reading something else that's easier to read and just coming back to it. Sam, you obviously don't get it. This is not just any book. It's so freaking boring. I can't even stand a minute of it. Like, I can't even read a page. It's so bad that if you put the 5 worst books you've ever read and just crushed them into a ball and threw them off the Grand Canyon, the sound of that ball hitting the ground would be this book in audio format. Okay. No problem, folks. These are normal concerns. You're not the only one, and that's okay. Try reading an easier book, because this solution proposes the chance that just reading is something you're having trouble with right now, because the book is so uninteresting it makes you not even want to read in general. Try on the easiest book you've ever read. Just give it a quick try. Do The Hungry Caterpillar, or that one that everyone's parents read them, and take it from there. Then tackle bigger mountains and try 1 minute. This book will not unalive you. It's just a bunch of pieces of paper with words on them. You can do this. Number 4, check out reviews or summaries. I think people do this with good reason when they're having trouble starting a book, because absorbing viewpoints of people who have already checked out the book can help keep you open to certain things that you might find interesting later on, or certain things to look out for when reading the book yourself. It provides you things to anticipate beforehand. Obviously, if the book is fiction or follows some kind of storyline, you'll want to find spoiler-free reviews, but these opinions may help you in shaping your very own. For years on this channel, I've done mainly non-fiction reviews, and I found that just watching or reading these reviews, it helps with critically thinking about a book, and over time even movies or music. It certainly overlaps into other forms of entertainment, but that's beside the point. Number 5, set a deadline for yourself. This can go hand in hand with having a reading schedule, and they're very helpful together, because as long as you're not letting skip days ruin your workflow, it pretty much guarantees that you'll be done reading the book that you're having trouble motivating yourself to finish by a certain time. If you take care of one, the other will take care of itself, and you'll be done with that book before you know it. Seriously. When you want to do 100 push-ups a day and you try one day, you'll probably be sore, but you can still do it the next day, right? So you do day 2 and day 3. Eventually, most people will just burn out. Even if you don't, it's a lot easier and maybe even healthier for you to do it in moderation. What does this mean? It means that if you wake up or before you go to work or at some point in the day, just do 10. It's a very small commitment, but it makes it really easy and convenient to do daily because it's not that hard. And eventually, you know what? You're probably going to think to yourself, I wanted to do more than 10 when I was listening to that loser kid on YouTube. So you start doing 20. And it's a small challenge at first, but it's not too hard at all. So you do it till it's easier enough for you to take on 30 or 40. People who talk about doing 100 push-ups a day, they're not talking about doing 100 push-ups a day. They're talking about doing 100 push-ups a day and not stopping. If you're in a completely different environment for days at a time and you feel like your daily habits are totally thrown off, do you just not brush your teeth? Of course you brush your teeth. Hopefully you brush your teeth. Number 6, immerse yourself. Motivation it can be a tricky thing. When you're not doing it though, think about it. The more you think about it, the better. Who knows, you might get so tired of thinking about it that you'll start to feel like it's a moral obligation and think to yourself, I'll kick myself later if I don't just get this done. A great author on the subject of motivation is Mel Robbins. Her book, The 5-Second Rule, is a modern iconic hit. Think about it. When you think about it, just read about it. Time goes by, eventually you'll end up taking action. If you start talking about it too, eventually someone might hold you accountable in some way, shape, or form. They'll ask you, what happened to that one book that you were talking about reading? It's got to get done eventually. It's like procrastinating on anything else. So those are 6 ways I've found to finish a book when you're not feeling the motivation to. Remind yourself while you're reading the book. Make a habit of reading a certain amount per day. Try something else that's easier to read and then just come back to it. Check out reviews or summaries. Set a deadline for yourself and immerse yourself in it. I hope these help, even if the rest don't. Don't knock it till you try it. Just one of them could be all you need to get back into the groove you had before you lost that motivation. Have you tried any of these? Have they worked? Are they helpful? And if not, is there anything you would add to this list? Please let me know in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already so you can see more of the content that we're putting on this channel. And if you want to turn it up just a notch and turn on that notification bell to get a notification whenever I drop new videos, that would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.